Oh, yes. We don't have that lovely melanin that just kind of elasticizes everything. We age like milk left on a counter in a hot day in July where there's no air conditioning. And let me tell you what, I'm white. I'm very white. And I identify as mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is something that you should not leave out on a counter in the middle of July. This is what happens.
The visible signs of aging look different in melanin-rich skin. That's because your melanin protects against collagen degradation caused by the sun. This means that wrinkling shows up way later in life. However, what you'll start to notice in your 40s is uneven skin tone and dullness. And in your 50s, you might start to notice some sagging and a rougher skin texture. These changes are mainly due to sun damage and because your skin cell turnover rate slows as you get older.
It's all about genetics, diet and lifestyle too. Also, I think white people tend to age faster than black or brown. What is with the white people shout? Like, must be about my fifth one. I'm not joking ya. My lifestyle, I don't hardly drink. Yes, I smoke. I've got a lifelong illness. I don't know, which maybe that's made me age a little bit, I don't know. But I'll say it again, I'm happy. I couldn't give a shit how old I look. I'm just me. Alright? So, move on.
Family, there's been a lot of debate online as to why white people actually age faster than black people. We saw a challenge in the recent months where white women at the age of 50 were trying to compare how they look, with black women also with the same age. And family, after the challenge, people actually noticed that a lot of black women were actually looking younger when you compare to their white counterparts. And family, people noticed that indeed black folks age slower when you compare them to white folks. Family, in this video, we want, to dive deep and get to understand why black people actually age better than white folks. Today, we want to break down the facts, not feelings. I want us to talk about skin aging, biological aging. I want us to talk about stress and what science actually says about aging. Once the video is done, we will get back and do a critical analysis about the same. Family, in a special way, I'd also want to take this opportunity to thank my subscribers who are supporting this channel by buying me a coffee. I do not take your support for granted. The link for buying a coffee is on the description box down below. Let's watch this video, then we'll be right back.
There was this trend where white women in their 40s and 50s and up were showing their natural selves and telling their age, and other women of other races, ethnicities were doing the exact same. And it became a trend because of how old the white women looked in comparison to the other women who were their exact same age or even older. And coming from a small rural town, even before social media, this was a topic because it did seem as though white women aged a lot faster than black and brown women. And the more I've lived, from my own observation and theory, I believe it's not just because of their white skin that they age faster. It's because of their delusion. They carry a lot of stress from the white men that they have in their lives, their husbands, their pastors, their brothers, their sons. They carry these people's lies. They carry these people's secrets from the abuse that they inflicted not only on them but other women that they know. They're literally still in the mind little girls who look 10 to 20 years older than their actual age, not because of what it is that they carry, but because they choose to. It's a choice to be that stupid. It's a choice to allow men to have control over your entire identity. It's a choice to allow men to dictate and control who the woman that your daughter will grow up to be. That's a choice. So them aging, when I first started seeing those videos, I'm like, ooh, they going in on them. And I felt bad. I still would feel bad if I saw some of those videos today. I just feel bad for people because they were like my age, 50 years old, and they looked like 70, 80 something years old. They were like, you can see the tiredness. They did not look their ages at all. And some of them have literally accepted that this is life. Like, you're supposed to look this old at this age, and you're not. So the rate that they're aging is their own fault. I may feel bad when I see those videos because I don't like for people to hurt or be embarrassed, but I'm a realist and I speak the truth. Whatever you sow, you shall reap. You sow stress, you sow discord, you sow hate. Everything that these white men have inflicted into you, you're getting it back 12 times more. And it shows all over your face.
So I'm going to be real and vulnerable with you guys today. When I get on here and do videos, I hate looking at my face when I'm doing the videos, unless I have one of those really nice filters on. Then I'm like, oh, I don't look too bad. That's sad, isn't it? It's sad, but it's true. And I'm sure a lot of my fellow Gen X ladies feel that way too sometimes. It has nothing to do with all the mean and hate comments that I get on my Tarte under eye color corrector video. I felt this before. I'm very self-conscious about the wrinkles, the deep set wrinkles around my mouth, my cheeks, right here, my forehead. I know I've earned these wrinkles, and I'm not ashamed. I just don't like how it looks. These wrinkles are grief, stress, life. It's just shit, and I'm wearing it. However, I do believe if there's a problem and something's bothering you in today's world, there's absolutely no reason why we can't find a solution. Correct? So that's what I did. I did a thing today. Yes, I did. I went and I got some Dysport. See the little bruise right there? Look at that. Oh, Tarte's covering it up. Tell me this stuff isn't a miracle worker. Bye-bye. Got another one right there. I will die on the hill of Tarte under eye color corrector. But anyway, that's not the whole journey I'm talking about. This is just the beginning. I went to a place called Michelle Aesthetics in Uptown Minneapolis. Michelle is wonderful, and she's going to be a part of this journey, so you'll meet her. She did a consultation on my face, and we decided that we're just going to do Dysport. She did it up here, she did it around my crow's feet, and in here, and gave me a nice little lip flip for these lines on my lips here. And then on Thursday, I'm going to go back, and we're going to do a filler. The filler is called Radiesse. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. It's spelled Radiesse, Radiesse. That filler she's going to put in around here, and I think some in here. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to film the whole thing, so I'll take you guys with me. You can watch my transformation. It'll either be really nice and just soften everything, or I'm going to look really fucked up. Either way, I'm going to share my experience with you guys. The last thing I want is to look like a pillow face. I don't want to look different. I just want to look softer. Not such deep lines and wrinkles. Ugh. So if any of you are on this journey, share it with me. I would love to hear it in the comments. Tell me what you're getting done. Tell me where you're at. And if you're local in Minnesota, tell me your experience. Where did you go? I mean, I'm going to stick with Michelle, but I'm still curious. Let's do this together. So watch for my video on Thursday.
White women have the biggest disadvantage when it comes to aging. The last thing I want to do as a 45-year-old woman is to look 55. And I feel like that is very common because what happens is white women tend to go out and do injections and do a whole ton of retinol to try to make up for this imbalance. I'm on a mission to replace all of my unnatural beauty products with real products. I turned onto this product by talking to my girlfriend about it, and she's like, yeah, that's absolutely true. You are going to look older. The only thing I found so far was a replacement for my retinol. She recommended is by Bijou, and it's not made of retinol, it's made of tremella mushroom. Has made a big difference, as you can see, for 45. That's not that bad. I put it all right here, and I put it here. I do still have some wrinkles by my eyes. I stopped using my other retinol, so it did take me about a month to even out, but at about the 3-month mark, I noticed that I was going back to the same results that I was getting from normal retinol. Give yourself some tremella mushroom and thank me later.
Somebody said that white people age like bananas. So, You could be sitting there aging like fine wine, but your character makes you ugly. And if your character's ugly, that's all people are going to see. Nobody's going to notice that your outward appearance is pretty or handsome. So, I don't mind aging like a banana if my character is beautiful. You can't take that away.
You know, I'm sick and tired of people shaming white and white-looking dudes saying that we age like milk. There are reasons that we look the way that we do, and it's not our fault. Of course we have bloodshot eyes. We stay up all night trying to figure out how to fix the country and steal from poor people. Yeah, most of us go bald in the first quarter century of our lives. Maybe we choose to. Maybe we're just showing respect to the beautiful bald eagle. You know, the symbol of our country, the beautiful white bird, and those lines on our faces and wrinkles with permanent red flush. It's from all of the problems that we have to think about. Women's rights! Greta Thunberg! So give us a fucking break. And not all of us age like shit either. I look amazing for my age. I just turned 22.
Is there a scientific reason why white people always look so much older than we actually are? I live in Mexico now, and of course it's not a secret that white people tend to look older than we actually are, okay? But I met someone last night and he guessed that I was 35 years old. 35. Just for reference, I'm going to be 28 next week. So I was like, no, I'm not 35. You have to remember that I am white, so you need to factor that in whenever you're guessing my age. But I will seriously meet people here and they'll be older than me and I will think that they're like 20. How do you look so young? It's seriously so unfair. I think that the only way that you could say that like a white person that's a little bit older looks good for their age is if they have Botox or some sort of work done. And don't come for me for saying that because, you know, it's low-key true.
Family, when you talk about aging, you'll notice that indeed white folks age faster. Family, look at white people, their skin, and look at their wrinkles. You know, when white people start aging, they have a lot of wrinkles on their skin. But family, you notice that black folks, their skins are straight. Black people's melanin help them so much with that, because family, once the white skin is subjected to a lot of sun rays, they start looking older. Their skin wrinkles. Their skin looks like that of an older person when you compare to black people. Family, there's been a lot of debate online. People have been comparing celebrities of the same age. They've been posting side-to-side photos saying that, yo, look at how black people don't actually crack. And visually, sometimes it really does look like darker-skinned people wrinkle later, but not faster as compared to the white folks. But the big question is that whole story truth? Family, in this video you can already learn that one of the biggest insecurity of white people has always been the fact that they age faster. Family, you can see that with how black people age on the same age when you compare with themselves. Family, let's start with the skin. Let's talk about skin aging, because this really determines a lot. When we say that a person looks older, it's always about their skin. Family, dermatologists have confirmed that melanin provides protection against UV rays. And guess what causes most visible aging? It's actually sun damage. So that explains to you why a lot of black people don't look older, because they are protected from the UV rays. They are protected from direct sunlight. Black people actually look, younger when you compare to the white folks. Family, black people do not experience sun damage. Their skins are intact. And that is why white folks, in the challenge, look older when you compare to black people. Their skin started wrinkles very early because of the sun damage. So because darker skinned people have more melanin, it's naturally more protected. Family, that just explains to you why black people naturally look younger when you compare to white counterparts, because their skins are intact. Their skins do not burn from sun rays. That means wrinkles, fine lines, and sunspots can appear later on black skins. Way later when you compare to those of white skins. But that's skin appearance, not internal aging. There's a big difference with that. What happens to white people many a times is their skin aging, their skin having wrinkles, just makes them look older. Family, now here's where it gets interesting. I want us to talk about the biological aging. Some research actually shows that due to chronic stress, economic inequality, and systemic pressure, Black Americans can show signs of faster biological aging internally. Some people say that science has proven that many Black people actually age biologically faster because of stresses. When you talk about the economic inequality, chronic stress, and systemic pressure, because many a times white people put Black folks to go through a lot of pressure economically, systemically, and systems have always failed Black people. So some people feel like the pressure that Black folks actually have makes them grow older biologically. But when you look at people physically, you'd notice that white folks are actually looking older. They look tired. They have wrinkles all over their faces, all over their skin. They look much older when you compare to Black folks. But people are still going deeper, saying that biologically Black folks could be aging faster because of a lot of stress that comes with a lot of systemic policies in America that are meant to make Black people suffer. That's not actually genetics, that's stress. There's even a term researchers use, withering. It describes how long-term social stress impacts the body. Family, if anything, if Black people have any problems with aging, it could be because of the stresses they have as Black people in America. Family, it's accurate to say that white people age faster? To me, I believe they actually age faster. Some people say that not exactly. They are saying it's more accurate to say that skin aging can look different because of melanin. Many white folks do not want to accept that. Many white folks are furious when these topics are brought about. They are saying that skin aging can look different because of melanin. Biological aging is influenced heavily by lifestyle, stress, healthcare access, and environment. That's not the biological part. Aging isn't about race. It's about biology. It's about biology and the experience that people have as they live. That has always been the main reason to aging. The stresses. There are a lot of biological influences. It could be healthcare issues, stresses. You could be sick that make people look agier, more than their ages. But family generally, in as much as many people want to say no to this fact, it is proven through our skins, that a lot of white folks actually look older. Honestly, family, this conversation says more about society than it does about genetics. When we see disparities in aging or health, we should ask, what's happening socially? What's happening economically? What's happening environmentally? Because biology doesn't operate in a vacuum. Family, I want to hear from you in the comment section down below. Do you believe that indeed white folks actually age faster to Black people? Many white folks are trying to argue, saying that biologically, stresses and any other influences actually makes people to age faster. It could be their health conditions, it could be stress, there are a lot of environmental factors that would make people, generally look old. But family, when we look at the skin with the general outlook physically, you'd see that many white folks actually look older at an early age when you compare to Black people. We've noticed that is because of melanin pigments. Melanin pigments are very, very important on the skin, because Black people are very, very advantaged to have melanin in their skin. They cannot be able to get skin burns. They are safer, to skin burns and a lot of these UV rays that make a lot of white skins wrinkle. And for white people, they actually look older when you compare to Black folks of the same ages. Family, like the video so that it can be recommended to other YouTube users, and I'd be very grateful. Kindly let me know in the comment box down below if you believe that indeed black people age better when you compare to the white counterparts. Finally, I'd really appreciate if you all decide to subscribe to the channel, because family, we are currently on the road to 50,000 subscribers. I'd really appreciate if you all support my work by subscribing to the channel. The goal of this channel has always been to tell black stories the black way, because if we give the white supremacist an opportunity to tell our stories, many a times our stories are distorted and whitewashed. Family, thank you so much, and I hope to see you all in our next episode. Goodbye for now.